And there we go. If we could just explore the nearby options instead of going all the way down, that would be great. And not too shabby. And once again, kind of loop around our summoned pals, make sure that they're taking the brunt of the assault. I do appreciate you both for that. Oh, right, and they're both giants, so they can also walk in the deep water. Good to see, good to see. And, ooh, I don't have gloves yet, actually, so I will gladly take that. Tiny bit of additional armor class. Dexterity. Probably not going to help us out too much. Orb of Light, I don't think so. And with that, let's see if we get out of here in one piece, shall we? Hey, perfect. I mean, technically calling it a little ahead of time here. Never know when we could find our entire life ruined on the last couple floors on our way out, but feeling pretty solid there. And do we head directly back into Swamp? Risking those danger stairs, or what else do we have at our disposal? I guess we could head to Orc. Orc probably wouldn't be too bad for us at the moment, besides the fact that we still have terrible willpower, so chances are I'm gonna get paralyzed by something at the worst possible moment, but such is life sometimes, not the end of the world. Is it worth even trying Swamp right away? Or should I just fall a bit more on the precautious side? Because also, like, Invo rose really quick, so I'm going to bring that up another percent. 8% on Summon Greater Servant. Not terrible, but could deal, or could do with just a little bit more assurance that that will in fact work out for us. So, almost definitely not that stairwell. This one's still not great, but maybe a bit better. Perfect. At least we only get 2 of these Sons of Guns coming upstairs with us. 30 damage and tail slap. I probably have decent odds on paralysis. 54 is okay. It's at least enough for me to just quickly get back a bunch of health, and that is wonderful. And then let's see, we have 2 leeches, 2 Spriggan Riders, and another crocodile. None of it seems completely unmanageable, but maybe maybe was a teensy bit optimistic with that. 35 damage on these Sons of Guns. Yeah, 30 and 15 on you. 30 and 15. Might be too much. No, okay, works out, and there we go. The teleport does proc. Get us the heck out of there. We can quickly heal up. And then just head back in that general direction and see if we can't run into these buddies a little more individually. Ooh, or not. Yikes. Well, in that case, let's just forget all the knowledge whence we had, and can just try to find these Sons of Guns, mostly because we are doing these dangerous down and upstairs maneuvers. So if we come upstairs to not only whatever we brought with us, but also some friends we left behind, I do not see that going especially well. Maybe that's just me. So with that in mind, let's play a little bit on the safer side here. And it does look like we've at the very least managed to clear up this stairwell. Still a few more enemies to take care of, specifically that Thorn Hunter is also on the loose somewhere or another here. I'm sure just waiting for the worst possible moment to make their appearance. Oh, Cactus Friend. You know what? Sometimes you make terrible mistakes, and I have to just let you make them. If you really want to stand in that cloud of broiling flame, so be it. Far be it for me to tell you how to live your life, my friend. Whatever short amount of it is left if you decide to go through with that action. But again, not judging, just stating. And let's see, resist corrosion probably would be useful to have around. Polymorph is tough for me. This is something that I always carry around because specifically against shapeshifters, it can be huge in allowing you to switch them off of like a really terrible, I guess not really mutated, shifted set. But with that being said, I pretty much never actually end up using that strategy. It's just something I read once and was like, that's a great idea. I'm going to do it for the rest of my life. Or, again, tell myself I'm going to do it. But, okie dokie. I'll probably drop it for now. I would like to have the resist corrosion just in case. Chainmail of double cold resistance is actually kind of sweet. I mean, in general, a little too heavy for us, especially with the strength -4 attached to it. Going down to 10 strength and wearing chainmail does not sound like the most intelligent strategy. Which is definitely a wee bit of a shame, because it would have been nice to get that vulnerability on our side, but hey. Or rather, lack of vulnerability, as it were. Those resistances. And can stab our way, largely managing to stay even until the very end there. And once it's down to just crocodile. You know, I was going to say that I was feeling much more confident. Turns out the real answer is more so that it becomes a huge roll of the dice. Either we stay even or we start to flounder a little bit, but that's fine. And more Leonoma action. Hello, my friends. Quite a few of those bad boys on this floor. It seemed. Ooh, and a shambling mangrove. To what do I owe the pleasure? Now's the time that we start blasting, I think. Electricity is not going to do great against you, but it's not going to do poorly either, and it does definitely take care of the Spriggan hordes. Again, we're kind of relying on the fact that we have taken care of the worst of the floor through the mixture of marked traps and very busy stairs. But I guess Thornhunter is still around somewhere. I'm surprised they didn't hear the lightning blasts and come running. That was what I was kind of expecting to happen, and was just gonna, you know, live with the consequences of my decisions, but guess not. Guess that will have to wait for another day. You, on the other hand, we will just immediately walk away from. As we get... Oh, we get dragon form. Now that is very interesting. I mean, I already have fire vulnerability, or cold vulnerability. Pretty much is more of the same, and I could instead switch over. It would mean taking away the Vampire's Tooth and switching over to unarmed attacks for the later stages of the game. But it doesn't sound horrible. I am a big fan of dragon form in general, so I could definitely work with that. It does kind of indicate that we're getting to the stage now where our spellcasting isn't quite up to par. So let us, in fact, 14, not quite good enough. Let's bring that up to 15 and just start it training in the background, just so by the time it becomes a bit more relevant, we will have that available to us. I don't think this works out. No, it does not. Actually, I don't know if that was guaranteed. Let's do some experimentation. Sorry, my cactus friend. No, okay, indeed does unfortunately work the way we originally expected. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of cold buddies. So, Time to swap over to our cold resistance here, and let us make what is hopefully short work of all these sons of guns. Oh, also, Scorch. Scorch does work through the rails. Okay. Love that. Can take care of you too, my friend. Take care of you, or not so much, but almost. It was getting there. Oh, son of a gun. Okay, a little bit better at navigation than I expected from that buddy full of disgusting pestilence, I guess, is maybe the best comparison to make there. But okay, and we're definitely a bit of an undead theme, which is a bit strange, seeing as how we are currently still on Swamp 3, so this isn't our end vault, but instead is just a bit of a thematic approach. And you know, I will slowly but surely kill these buddies this way. I don't know how I feel about this, though. I don't think it's fully necessary, and oh boy, is it a little bit on the tedious side. But I guess it's still a good like indication or a good show of silly little strategies that might work, especially if you're struggling to, you know, get your very first win and you just want like even just the slightest bit of a layup in a specific encounter. Sometimes you can definitely do some pretty silly stuff, to say the least. But okie dokie, hello my freezing wraith friend. We've actually dealt with your kind a couple times in the past, but still appreciate the effort, of course. And that should just about get her done. Let's go gadget cactus. I guess it is an 8%, but I still didn't really expect it to fail quite that many times. And now what do I do with you, my friend? Probably walk to the other side of the fire, especially if you're just gonna stand in there and take it. Appreciate that. And not too shabby ghouls down, and so let's get our treasure. Okay, just a plain evening star. Thought it was something fancy for a moment there, but that is fine. Okie dokie. Well, there we go. I think that should be the majority of Swamp 3. Could still be a couple of small surprises like this son of a gun, but for the most part, not looking too shabby. Let's get out of range of your ability. It's a range of 5, so one more step. And just leave you a little bit on the distracted side. At least that was my plan till the very end there, but fortunately all is well that ends well. And you know, I made an offhand comment when we started off the stream today that Swamp would be a bit more on the interesting side if it's full of nothing but bog bodies. Turns out, not quite as flippant of a suggestion as I originally intended. Turns out that is in fact what the dungeon had in store for us. Let's get you away from the trees, my friend. Ooh, and you do drop digging. Love to see that. I feel like digging wand charges is something I've been very much lacking in recent runs. Let's fix up something on the side here as well. Perfect. Just make sure that we're still going here. Still in line. Seems to be the case. Fantastic. So, again, checking on work stuff, but looking good. Okie dokie. And right back on the road we go, shall we? What, I kind of enjoyed that we had my friends between us for the majority of that, but it all works out here. And another ghost crab, hey? You know what? This time, I think we just start blasting. I'd like to get the Death Drake taken care of sooner rather than later, and that was I think that was our final solution to the ghost crab problem. The most famous of moral dilemmas, of course. And now if I can just stand on this stairwell, and I can get infinite amounts of enemies coming my way. Oh, I guess Conjure Ball Lightning not great against the ghost crab from afar, because all of our orbs do just get distracted by the ghost nearby, which makes sense, I guess. Yikes, don't love that. But here we go. Hopefully, this will be us stabilizing just a smidge. And there we go, some guaranteed fire damage. You know what, let's just put the nail in the coffin with a wee bit of our own flame wave. That should be beautiful. And now we can just get back into the new strategy here, which is make a lot of noise, bring infinite enemies to the stairwell, but just keep a steady flow of conjured balls of lightning between me and them. And again, we'll slowly, as we can see, kind of lose health as the situation goes on, but did seem kind of net positive there, all things considered. As long as these hydras don't get next to us at the very least, even though that one was a little bit closer than I otherwise would have liked. Not too bad though. And another barrage, probably going to be one more to take care of this Hydra pal as they come forward. Holy moly. Doing our best like Quasal impression as a Djinn of Makhleb here, just creating the storm. Bit of a localized storm here. And I think 28 is a little too low. I mean, fortunately, we do get the kill on that Hydra before we head up the stairs. Do love that, especially since we got lucky enough for Makhleb to hand off a heal while doing so. But definitely was starting to look a little bit closer to the cut line there.